You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
You know what? I'm excited. Australian Idol is back next Monday night, 7:30 on Channel 7 and 7+. But more excited to see this magnificent man on our screens, the beautiful Harry Connick Jr.
Hey!
What's happening?
Mate, it's great to have you on the show. This is exciting.
It's exciting for me.
We were just saying off air that really Australian Idol has to be the main or only show that has produced artists that have gone on to be extremely successful.
Yeah, it's kind of like that in the States, too. I mean, there's a lot of competition shows, but, ever since day one, Idol has been the only show that produces people, as you said, that are real stars. And I think the reason is because it's all about the kids. Like, it's not about us. It's not about any kind of special device or any trickery. It's, they take a huge group of kids. They get narrowed down week to week until it's, 24 and then 12 and then down to 1. And I think it's just an old school, tried and true method of competition, and Idol just does that better than anybody else. Like they know how to put on that show. Yeah. And
it works.
I think that's the reason why.
Harry, can I ask you, you've been in the music industry, so you can answer this. Anxiety, and you know what, it must be hard for these kids because you've got a camera thrust into your face. You've got 4 judges there that are judging you the whole time. You know millions of people are watching this show. Has there been a moment when you first started your music career where you choked on stage, where you just go, I can't do this, and anxiety took over?
There was only one time when I would say I really choked, and that's when I was singing for Frank Sinatra's birthday party. I think it was his 75th birthday party, and like every singer in the world was there. Ella Fitzgerald and Tony Bennett, and I mean everyone. Yeah. And I don't really get nervous. I never have, but that particular night, I was terrified because
it's Frank
Sinatra was sitting 20 feet in front of me, and it was just intimidating. But that's what I signed up for, and that's what these kids sign up for. So that's what they may not know this, but we understand that that's part of this business. There's going to be moments on stage where you choke or you get embarrassed or you forget the words. And it's really not about that as much as how you recover from it and how you kind of learn from it. So it's a really interesting process because these kids are so green. Like they a lot of them have never sung in front of people before, much less an audience or a national audience. So it'll be real interesting to see who kind of has what it takes and who the audience responds to.
Harry Connick Jr., here's a question for you as a professional, because I'm trying to work it out. My wife is a terrible singer, like one of the worst, and I'm trying to work out whether she can't hit the note or she can't hear the note. What's your understanding of really bad singers? Can they not hear it?
Yeah, it's wow. It's like, listen, me and you are in the same camp. Jill can't sing either, so I feel your pain.
Because sometimes I'll sit at the dinner table and I'll go, okay, just hit this note. And it'll be way off.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people just don't hear it,
Yeah, they can't hear it.
But I mean, like, who cares? I mean, there's been a lot of really famous singers who don't really sing the melody, and have done really, really well because there's more to it than that. I mean, there's some singers in this competition that are going to literally blow your mind. They are such great singers. And there's other ones that just have a vibe that you can't put your finger on. So I don't know whether some people just can't hear or whether it's a discipline thing. Maybe they need a little bit of work or a combination, but I think maybe some people just can't hear the notes. But like I say, who cares? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
But then, Harry, do you think singing is a skill that people are born with or something that can be taught?
Ooh.
Well, that's a great question. I think I'm a big fan of learning your craft. And a lot of people think that I'm not going to take lessons, I'm not going to learn how to read music because that's going to make me less soulful. But I've been saying this since I used to do Idol. Like, it's like learning how to read. Like, imagine walking through life and you can't read the newspaper or your things on your phone or a street sign. Like, that doesn't change who you're hardwired to be. It just shows you the possibilities. So I think people are born with a talent, and some people never develop that talent and don't know anything about their craft, and that's fine. But I think you should learn as much as you possibly can, because it's not going to change, how passionate you are or how spontaneous you are. It's just going to make you better. So I'm always a big fan of that.
So there's still hope, Sarah. You're okay. There's still hope for you. Next year's Idol.
Harry, you were talking about your wife Jill not having a voice before. Your daughter, you've got 3 daughters who have done really well making their way in the film and the fashion worlds. Have you had to critique their voices before? That must be very hard as their father to do that.
Well, so Georgia, the oldest, by the way, they're all 3 coming, and they're dying to come. I think they want one-way tickets because they love y'all's country so much. But Georgia, she's the oldest. She doesn't sing. She has a great ear, but singing's not her thing. Kate, who's the fashion designer and actress, Kate has an amazing voice and is constantly asking me to critique her and help her. So she has no problem, listening to me be honest with her and help her and stuff. And Charlotte, the youngest one, also loves to sing. I think she's going to be in the entertainment business too, and she's the same way. Like they grew up around that, so it's not like they're terrified to sing in front of me. They know that I love them and I want to help them, just like these kids. Like it's not about I think you're ugly. It's not about being mean. Like that's not who I am.
No.
I just want to give. If you're going to give somebody some critique, I think it's really important that you give them something specific to work on. And no kid that has ever auditioned in front of me has ever said, "Oh, he's mean," or it's personal. Because that's not what it's about. I love these kids. I want them to succeed.
Just before you go, we find it really, really hard to talk to you because we know how amazing your voice is, Harry. But, we can't stop thinking of that scene from CopyCat where you lick the knife in front of Sigourney Weaver. Did you ad-lib that? Was that part of the script? Did you actually lick a knife? It was one of the scariest scenes of all time.
It was pretty scary. I remember when I did that film, most of that stuff was ad-lib. Like a lot of because the director, his name was John Emile, and he was from England, and I was playing like a real white trash Southerner. So a lot of the stuff I said, he had never heard. He says, "Do you know a lot of expressions?" I said, "Yes, I know a lot of expressions." So, they just kind of let me do my thing, and I, obviously I had lines memorized, but a lot of that stuff was just let me see how much I can scare Sigourney Weaver.
What a scene. What a scene.
Well done. Australian Idol, it kicks off next Monday night, 7:30 on Channel 7. Harry, enjoy your time down here in Australia. We love you, mate, and thank you very much for coming on the show.
Can't wait to see you guys. I'm so excited.
See you,
Thanks,
mate.
buddy.
Bye.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.